the partnership arrangement works quite well in the sense that you would find that you've got people that are owning the land for the first time, who haven't been on the land for quite some time, and now they suddenly are in control of 26,000 hectares of land. They don't know necessarily how to develop that land. They need those people that can help them in terms of developing the land. And therefore, with Melorane coming in, bringing over investors and getting into partnership, that's helped a lot, because we coming with the land, they come with the skills, they come with the resources, and that together ensures that at the end, the community is able to benefit properly. So Melorane helped us through the entire process. Firstly, identify the potential investor. Secondly, negotiating with the investor so as to come up with a deal. And thirdly, to actually close the deal itself.
We have always wanted to seek partnerships with communities, especially communities who have claimed properties. We didn't want to be seen to go in and bully communities around. The fact that Melorane has been part of the facilitation process was very helpful, because then you have a bit of an independent entity that is not for or against the potential investor or the land claimants, who sort of facilitates the development of the partnership independently and credibly. So we appreciate that that has happened, and since then we have never looked back. One of the packages we arranged with the community is to say, where you have got property for conservation, let's look at that among others. And this is where we agreed with the community to work towards the development of a game reserve. We have done that. We have now a legally running and proclaimed Melorane-ERP game reserve with the community.
We looked at the environment and realized that we are just next to Madikwe Game Reserve, which is dealing with ecotourism as well as wildlife. So we actually chose categories of developments that we can get involved in. One is agriculture, the other is ecotourism, and the third one is wildlife in general. With agriculture, it was easy for us to be able to actually get into such a project because we have some experience of it. But when it comes to ecotourism and wildlife, we thought that we need the necessary skill, we need the resources to start off such kind of projects. When we started off with ERP, the first thing we had to do was to do the environmental impact assessment, and then the lodge sites were also identified. And then the other thing that we had to get engaged in was the bigger fencing project. We had to ensure that that development area where we are going to have the ecotourism project has been fenced, game fenced, because we wanted to get this whole development area incorporated into Madikwe Game Reserve, because Madikwe Game Reserve has got the big five. Firstly, having to deal with the fencing project, it meant that we had to get quite a lot of people to work on it, the clearing of the roads, construction of the fence itself. So we had to involve our community members. Over 50 of them were actually temporarily employed. We had to also secure our land. We needed a security company that can be able to help us. We utilized our own security company, which we started from scratch, and the investor was able to help us to nurture that security company that comes from the community.
One of the things we are doing is to empower community around business development, to develop a list of a number of projects, business and not-for-profit, programs, and get ourselves into prioritizing with the communities what, according to them, should be up at the top and should be down at the bottom. Our experience as a private partner in this collaboration is excellent. We found in the facilitation of the partnership a positive role played by Melorane. My recommendation would be for any private entity who want to go into a partnership, invite into the process of negotiations and starting a relationship a third party. So if there are issues of lack of clarity and ambiguity, a third party like Melorane would always come in and say, guys, maybe from the side of this community, we have to look at this, but also from the side of investor, we have to look at this. I would encourage more investors, especially from private entities, to partner with communities. But it must not be something that is more about private investment only and less about community.